I am speed.
What is up, everybody? I am NerdRage36, back with another pickups video, and this is actually just going to be a really quick one. That's kind of a pun because all I got are some racing games, and I'm going to be completely honest, I have never super been into racing games. I mean, I played Jak X Combat Racing, but it's a Jak and Daxter game. I kind of had to, but I have noticed that I have been getting gradually more and more into genres that I thought I just didn't click with, or at the very least have been a little more open to at least trying out and just generally getting a feel for. And I figured there's some good racing games out there, or at least more creative racing games than stuff like Gran Turismo or Forza, or just stuff that are racing games that are more interesting than your typical, just your typical racing game that always looked boring to me. So, yeah, I'm just gonna talk about them right now. And one of those games/series, and something that I honestly probably would have needed for the collection anyway at some point, is Wipeout. Wipeout Pure on the PSP. I know there was also Wipeout Pulse, but I couldn't find that one. That might be on a future video then, if I can ever find it. And Wipeout 2048 on the Vita. An iconic series for PlayStation, although I could have sworn I saw Wipeout 1 on Saturn, I think. I could be wrong, but whatever. But yeah, it's like this is a series well known for PlayStation. It got an entry on the PSP, a completely original entry, actually two if we're counting Pulse, because I didn't find it, but I know it exists. And any chance to get a PlayStation Vita game that isn't a visual novel, you're going to want to do that. But, I mean, these never looked bad, but they just didn't seem like my kind of game. But then something occurred to me. With my kind of sporadic work schedule, I really am in more need of sort of, not necessarily pick up and play. Well, I guess maybe pick up and play. I mean, I did get that, what is essentially a Yoshi's Island arcade game not too long ago. But I guess something that I don't need to, like, extremely hyperfixate on for months at a time, but just something that I can, like, casually chip away at if I don't have a ton of time after work. And yeah, racing games like Wipeout would definitely be in that category. And honestly, I've kind of been interested in the series ever since I saw Cat Icarus talk about them. So who knows? Maybe I might find another franchise to like. But speaking of iconic franchises, iconic racing franchises, especially within the same concept of hyper-futuristic racing, you probably know where I'm going with this. If this will freaking stay open. F-Zero, Maximum Velocity, and GP Legend. And yes, I understand that the F-Zero series, like, more people would have suggested I get the N64 or the GameCube one, especially since I imagine the GameCube one going to be going down in price at least a little bit in the coming years. But, well, for one, I actually found a place that had both of these at the same time, so I figured I might as well. But also, again, just racing games are easier when it's like a slowly chip away thing. And if any of you guys have seen videos of my buddy Keith, actually, I think he talked about it in the video we did on the PSP over on his channel, that racing games on handhelds are much easier to go with because they're so, like, quick pick up and play, like, just, for lack of a better term, casual sit down and play type of games, especially on handhelds. And, like, as I've been talking about for a while, handhelds are way too slept on. And also, when it comes to Nintendo collecting, when the fact of the matter is there are not that many F-Zero games, despite it being an iconic franchise. So getting some of the few games in the series on GBA, might as well. And speaking of Nintendo, some Mario Kart. Mario Kart DS. Now, this one actually, again, despite the fact that I never thought I was super into racing games, this appealed to me for one reason and one reason only. And almost kind of like why I played Jack X Combat Racing. It's because there's actually not a campaign to go through, but it was actually stuff to do besides just get first place in every circuit. Like, there was actually the mission mode. Everyone knows about the mission mode, or at least everyone should. And it's like, you know what? That's more appealing to me than your typical racing game. And I always felt like that, but again, I just was not prioritizing collecting any racing games until recently. So I figured, you know what? This was definitely a worthwhile pickup, and plus, I've heard this is one of the best Mario Kart games. I think the top 3 best Mario Kart games to most people is DS, Double Dash, and 8 Deluxe, especially after the booster course. Who knows if any will be added or taken away from that top 3, but who knows? And again, I like collecting for the DS. This probably was going to have to be on there at some point. But yeah, like I said, not a whole lot. This is a pretty quick one because it was really just a couple of racing games. I wish I had gotten Wipeout Pulse because, one, that was the only other Wipeout game on handhelds that I would have needed to pick up anyway, and I could have just completed that little search right then and there. But then also it would have just given me another game to talk about. But yeah, again, never been super duper into racing games, but who knows? I'm open to being surprised, and I do know that those are 3 extremely iconic franchises for the racing genre, so I couldn't have picked any better ones to at least get started on, although, again, not my first time. And I did play Mario Kart with friends in high school, but I think that's under different circumstances. But anyway, that's basically it for this one. Again, really quick, I am Speed. Anyway, with all that, I am NerdRage36, and I'll see you later.